Hi friends, welcome to our channel Joint Account. We hope you are doing well. You must have heard about IPOs of various companies happening and people talking about subscription and making quick money on the listing day. For example, in the recent past, shares of DMart, IRCTC, SBI Cards and Payment Services. In the past few months, Happiest Minds, Chemcon, CAMS and Burger King had their IPO. That is Initial Public Offering. So this video will cover what is an IPO and how it works. All the mentioned companies were not publicly traded on the stock exchange. That means you and me could not buy the shares of these companies before their IPO was done. Now let us see what an IPO is. IPO is Initial Public Offer. Before the IPO of a company happens, the shares are owned completely by the promoters, which means founders of the company mainly, and the initial investors who the promoters have selected on a personal basis. Hence, the company shares are not available on the BSE or NSE for trading. So, when a company wants its shares to be owned by public, it will sell a chunk of shares to the public via an IPO. Let us see how this works. Normally, the process takes around 20 days. The company will complete all the prerequisites as per the SEBI and the Indian laws. The next step is to finalize the offer start date. This is the date from which you can subscribe for an IPO. It will usually last for 3 days, after which the offer ends. When you subscribe, it means that you are interested to buy the shares of the company.
Now let us take an example. We have a company ABC Corporation owned by two promoters, Mr. X and Ms. Y, who own 60% and 20% respectively. Mr. Z is an investor in this company who owns 20% shares. The company is valued at 1 crore rupees and there are 10,000 shares, so the value of each share is 1,000 rupees. Now let us consider that Mr. X wants to sell 5% of his shares. Ms. Y wants to sell 10% of her shares and Mr. Z wants to sell 15%. So the total number of shares to be sold to the public are 3,000 shares valued at 30 lakh rupees. This money can either be taken up by each person as a profit or it can be used for the expansion of the company like buying new machines, equipment or opening new branches. Now the shares which are to be sold during an IPO are majorly sold to three types of entities: QIB, that is qualified institutional buyers, NIIs, that is non-institutional investors, and RII, that is retail individual investors, with each having a separate quota. Let us assume that in our example, QIB are allotted 35%, non-institutional investors are allotted 35%, and retail individual investors are allotted 30% of the total shares to be sold. Mutual funds, etc. will come under the QIB category, and people like me and you come in the RII category. So the shares available for common people like me and you to buy will be 30%, that is 900 shares. These shares are further divided into lots such that the price of one lot will be close to 15,000 rupees. In our example, the price of one share is 1,000 rupees. Hence the lot size should come to 15 shares per lot and total lots are 60. So we can buy these shares in multiples of each lot. Suppose I wish to buy 30 shares, then I have to bid for 2 lots and so on. In the real world, the company will normally publish the minimum and the maximum prices with which you can bid for the shares in lots. The share prices depend on several factors like the number of shares being offered, the valuation of the company, and the premium which is being charged. All things said and done, in usual circumstances, one lot of shares, irrespective of the quantity of shares in it, will be priced close to 15,000 rupees. We need to bid or subscribe in multiples of lots. Once we bid for the shares, the amount of money which is needed will be locked in our bank account and cannot be spent by us. Then in a few days, allotment finalization happens. Means if there were 60 lots to be sold, like in our example, and there were 150 bidders, 60 of them will get the allotments and the remaining 90 people will get the money in their bank accounts unlocked for spending, which is nothing but refund initiation. Please note that the actual process of allotment is very complex and we have tried to simplify it for you. Then the shares in lots are transferred to your Demat account and next day is the day of listing on the stock exchange.
In case you want to subscribe to an IPO, There are various ways to do it using your Demat or bank accounts. There is a lot of information available on how to subscribe to an IPO, but if you have any queries, you can ask us in the comment sections and we will help you answer them. If the number of applications is more than the number of lots offered, then the IPO is called as oversubscribed. And if the number of applications is less than the number of lots offered, then IPO is called undersubscribed. Please note that the oversubscription and undersubscription can be different for different category of investors, since the quantity of the lots offered to each is different. If an IPO is oversubscribed 2 times, means the number of bids is double the number of lots offered. And if it is 50% subscribed, means the number of bids is half of the lots offered. If an IPO is highly oversubscribed, then there is a good probability of listing gain. Now let us see what happens on the listing day. On the listing day, depending upon the demand, supply and the future prospects, the prices of the shares move up or down. Now the people who were allotted the shares can book profit if the price of the share is higher than the bidding price, and if it is lower, then a loss can be booked or the shares can be held in the Demat account till you want. Most people who have been allotted shares in the IPO sell them at listing day to make a quick profit. People who were not allotted shares are free to buy them at the listed prices for investment purposes.
Let's look at a few real-world examples. Demat was listed some time back and the lot size was 50 shares. The price range in which you could bid for the shares was Rs 295 to 299 per share, and hence the maximum cost for one lot of shares was close to 14950, that is 14,950 rupees. Now if we look at the listing day prices of the shares of Demat, the listing price was Rs 617 per share. That is, on the listing day, people who were allotted shares made a profit of 100% against the bid price. Similarly, we have a few other examples. In most of the examples, you may notice that the listing day gains are close to 100%. But we should also note that sometimes, even though the companies are fundamentally good, there can be losses on the listing day. For example, in case of SBI cards, the listing day prices were lower than the bid prices. And as you can see, 658 was the listing price, which was less than 755 range in which you had to bid, and hence people had to hold the shares for a long time to recover their money. I hope this video helps you.
Friends, if you like the video, please click on the like button and share it with all your friends. Also, if you have any queries, please list them in the comment section below. Also, if you have not done yet, please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so that you will get a notification when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.